Why is it so hard to have an orgasm with your partner? The easy answer is playing with yourself is one thing. Playing with a partner, that's a whole different ball game. Whether you're a man or a woman, when you're alone, you are thinking yourself to an orgasm. It's a braingasm. Any physical stimulation is a means to an end. It's easier because there's no one to please but yourself. You get all of the orgasm with none of the action, but the action is the best part of the game. If you are having a hard time orgasming or if sex feels like a lot of work, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to give you my #1 tip for crossing the finish line together. I'm Amy Culler, known as the best intimacy coach because I offer real solutions for real intimacy, for real people in real relationships. I've been helping men score in sex and love for a very long time, so please stay with me. Hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. I have so much to share. Let's get into it. Let me tell you about one of my couples. We'll call them Dan and Mary. Dan was a good guy. He'd say to Mary, "Did you come? Are you done?" It really annoyed her, and she'd usually just fake it at that point. But he was asking because he's a good guy. He knows she has to finish first. So that way he can try and have his orgasm. But really, what was happening is that he'd check out of the action and he would turn in and try and think himself over that edge so he could have that braingasm the same way he did when he was alone. And Mary confessed to me that after Dan was finished, he'd roll over, he'd fall asleep, and she'd pull out her vibrator and finish herself the same way that she did when she was alone too, thinking herself to orgasm, to have that braingasm. Whether there was an orgasm or not, neither one of them was satisfied because something's missing. They're just going through the moves. The problem is, we think this is how it's supposed to be. You think of sex as penetration and an orgasm is the goal. That means that when you're going into the bedroom, you're thinking, okay, you and then me. We're trying to hit two different goals at the same time, and that makes you competition. In the intimacy game plan, my program, you understand that your intimate relationship, you're an intimacy team, and you learn how to be on the same team at the same game on the same field at the same time. You also learn that an orgasm is a climax of pleasure. And pleasure is the most overlooked element of a great sexual encounter. And exploring the pleasure zone, that's the best part of the game. Imagine if you were on a football team and you got on the field with your ball and you ran straight across the field and you took your ball and you slammed it down on the goal. You were like, okay, I'm done. Next. It wouldn't be any fun. You'd feel like you were in it alone. Everybody on your team would be in it alone. You wouldn't even want to show up anymore. But instead, you're on a football team. You're part of an intimacy team. You learn your starting positions. You learn how to play in the pleasure zone. That's the best part. You get there by giving and receiving pleasure. That's how you make it to the O zone. And whether there's an orgasm or not, getting to that O zone, that's the best part. That's when the game gets really good. The hormones are flying. Are we going to make it? Are we not going to make it? And just like a team, you're in it together. I teach you the moves to help you push your partner over the edge so that you can have that mind-blowing, explosive orgasm, like when you make it to the Super Bowl. You're having a whole pleasuregasm. And when Mary can help Dan have his mind-blowing orgasm, that is a game changer. It's raw, it's vulnerable, it bonds you, it builds trust, it feels so good. You're not thinking yourself there. You're reaching the O zone and making that score together. And even though it's just one of you, whether that's Dan or Mary, making that score, it's a win for the team. You're taking one for the team. And you're there to help them do it. That's what the best part is. You don't have to ask, did you? He never has to ask her again, did you have an orgasm? No, because he's there in it with her. He knows he helped her get there. And whether you are the one giving that orgasm or receiving that orgasm, it is incredibly empowering. That's when you're in it for the love of the game. Is this making sense? I'd love to hear if this is making sense to you guys. Do you find it easier alone? You're not going to when you know what you're doing. Do you think that you're going to be able to poke your way to that mind-blowing orgasm, that super orgasm that you've heard so much about? That comes from playing together. I want you guys to be the one to give her, give him that orgasm, that pleasuregasm that a brain, a vibrator that porn can't get for you. That's why you have each other. I want to teach you how to start the game and how to finish because there are so many ways to make it to the ozone, and I am excited to share all of them with you. Does that sound good? If you want more pleasure, more orgasms, more love in your relationship, let's make it. You don't have to figure it out. I'm here to help you follow my step-by-step formula that's based on 20 years of research and experience, helping thousands of people learn to love and be loved by learning to be lovers together. If you're thinking that your partner won't play with you, that they're not interested in this, yes, they are. They want to feel loved. You find the moves that work for you. I make it easy. You're going to learn about emotional intelligence, physical awareness, communication, trust, and bond by learning to play together, by learning to have a loving relationship. Because when you're well loved, it shows. And these things take practice and a coach. So if you would like, you can find a link in the description that goes directly to my calendar where you can talk to me and we can find out if the intimacy game plan is right for you. I will give you a strategy. I look forward to meeting you. In the meantime, stay connected to yourself, each other, and me, and I'll see you soon. Okay?